Here comes the Yankees and Red Sox, but for now, London doesn't seem to notice. London UAE can stroll over to Buckingham Palace, travel up the 800-foot chart or travel around town in the tube, but it's almost impossible to know Major League Baseball is invading London this weekend. Dodging cars, while realizing pedestrians don't always have the right of way in London this week, loving the fact you can miss a subway train and the next one is just 2 minutes away, or that the escalators operate at the speed of sound, USA Today Sports looked feverishly for signs of any interest in baseball in London. There was little. A few New York. Did anyone get the memo? Baseball's fiercest rivalry between the Yankees and Red Sox would be played this weekend at London Stadium, UAE. First MLB games played in Europe? The tabloids were filled with ridicule and sarcasm, ripping England for its 64-run loss to Australia in cricket, praising England's women's soccer team for surviving their World Cup victory over Cameroon, and stories advancing the opening of Wimbledon next week. But there was no sign at all of MLB games taking place, let alone lamenting the Red Sox's bullpen woes or Giancarlo Stanton's latest injury. "It's a shame really," says Chris Edwards, 54, a London attorney, wearing a Red Sox cap at the Cricket World Cup match that he bought after visiting Fenway Park for the first time 2 years ago. "It should be great but ironically, so is cricket, and you see how popular it is here." While y'all may complain in the United States about 3-hour baseball games, England's Cricket World Cup game against Australia on Tuesday started at 10:30 a.m. and lasted until 6 p.m., with fans taking breaks to eat and a wash it down with a pint. This is why MLB, which started dreaming of this venture nearly 25 years ago when they first put an office in London, is smitten with the idea of officially introducing America's pastime to Europe. "We've been trying to crack this nut for 20 years, and it's been a tough nut to crack," said Jim Small, MLB Senior Vice President of International Business, during coffee at his London hotel on Wednesday. Opening Europe to "We know there are a lot of people in Europe that will wear Yankee and Red Sox hats, but they don't have any idea that Aaron Judge or Mookie Betts wear that same hat. This is the opportunity. It's not as if these two games which will be shown locally in the United Kingdom as well as nationally in the United States on Saturday and Sunday will provoke a flurry of Europeans to call their travel agents looking for discount flights to Yankee Stadium this summer. But, hey, you got to start somewhere, right?" Growing up in the 70s in Boston, Small said, "If you played soccer, you were either a foreign exchange student or you weren't good enough to play football, basketball, baseball, or hockey. Well, we're trying to make baseball a global sport, and to do that, you have to be locally relevant." London Stadium, originally built for the 2012 Olympics and now home to West Ham United of the English Premier League, plays host for its series this weekend. There are 130,000 people who will attend the two games this weekend, with nearly 400 credentialed reporters, with the games televised in 170 countries. The original it's hardly as if the tickets were cheap, either. The average ticket, it's quite possible, Edwards suggests, that many of those tickets sold were simply to Americans who live in Europe. MLB officials, MLB realizes it's essential to educate the Europeans on the game, with the scoreboard this weekend reading runs, hits and errors instead of RHE. There are 700 volunteers with 150 in the stadium that will teach fans how to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park, pot.